dear friend, what you are seeing right now, what we are doing on a regular basis, what this is right now, is something I have never seen, nor has anybody that I know of has ever seen. I've got friends of mine, we all kind of sort of started originally in the talk radio world in the, say, mid-80s, sort of, and this was before the internet, so I started officially my first ever job on radio was weekends, October of 1988. So that's this is Rush was kind of coming along, but not really as big as he was certainly coming. But it was brand new, and it was still very exciting. But it was, I read the paper, I talk to you, you read the paper, and maybe you watch TV. And you wanted to do morning drive. You know why? So you could read the paper. You got paper first. Yesterday's news, you got first. You were ahead of the game. You got paper. We talked about that. Then we had the wire. We had sometimes on a tractor feed, and sometimes there was this news wire. It was like reading a news report. It was horrible. You kind of got to do it. Just bare bones. That was it. We had no breaking news. We really had no. I mean, we had CNN, but it wasn't. When O.J. Simpson came along, we were thank you way out. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. Thank you so much. Very kind. When O.J. Simpson came along, just to give you an idea, just to see where I'm going. I owned this. In New York City, owned it. I was the guy. I was on every show there was. Charles Grodin and I, we were it. All the time. I mean, it was. I was it. And I did 1 hour a day. 1 hour a day. Audio? Oh, something wrong with the audio? Oh my God. Audio. Hang on a minute. Let me try it again. Let me see something here. Okay. Is that any better? Let me know. I'm not going to say anything. Give me a 5x5. Is that okay? Let me know. Let me know. Is that better? Is that better? Thank you. Give me a 5x5. Good, 5. And by the way, don't tell me reboot. It's like, no shit. Why don't you unplug it? Restart the computer. Thank you. Thank you, Marconi. Marconi played La Bamba. Listen to the radio. Don't you remember? See? Restart, please. Thank you. Restart. We didn't hear a word. I'm going to start again. Shall I start again? Okay. Okay. What you are seeing right now is absolute, positive, 100% radio history. I started, I hope you didn't hear this, I'm going to say it again, in 1988, October. In 1988, it was kind of Rush Limbaugh, AM radio. Florida was the best. Larry King, Neil Rogers in Miami. It was serious. I mean, really, really, really serious. And what was interesting was that all we had was the newspaper. That was it. Just the newspaper. And the newspaper was yesterday's news. Understand this? It was yesterday's news. That's all it was. And it was absolutely fantastic. Neil Rogers in Florida was one of the best ever.
It was great. It was like scary. It was really kind of good. And there were the sort of shock jockey. Okay. The next big story was OJ. OJ. Oh, is the sound bad again? Is the sound bad again? Gotta get scratchy again? Okay, that's interesting. Let me try it again. Let me try it again. This is the weirdest thing. I'm gonna do it again. Let me see if I can do it again. Hang on a minute. Okay, how's that? Check 1, 2, 3. Check 1, 2, 3. I like somebody says, bad connection somewhere. Really? I don't know. Something's not right. Thank you. What about now? Oh, they're cutting you off. They're doing it just to cut you off. I know what they're doing. It's what you're talking about because you're talking about Charlie, right? Are we 5 by 5? Are we sounding good? Good, good, good. All right, I'm going to do it again. I'm going to keep going. O.J. Simpson came along, and all we had was a newspaper and then a little bit of court TV. A little bit of court TV, and that was it. That was all it was. Court TV was great. It was groovy, and so much for court TV, and that was it. Period. End of discussion. You got it? Good. But we didn't have anything. All we had was me, and I was doing Morning Drive on WABC, and I owned the O.J. Simpson story. Owned it. Owned it. Charles Grodin, I was always on his. It was the best. Because nobody had the balls to say he killed these people. It was the strangest things ever. Okay? Okay. Internet land came along, fine. And people, for the most part, would sit there and say, well, what do you think about this? Well, what do you think about that? Okay. And people would just kind of, watch along and say, oh, that's great. It might have been, I don't know, whatever the particular story was. Maybe it was a case. Maybe it was that Casey Anthony trial. Whatever it is, Zimmerman. They just sort of, okay. Now we have the Charlie Kirk story. Now Candace Owens comes in. Now we've got Barron, who is a monster. Barron Coleman. By the way, talk to Barron, and I'm going to be interviewing him very soon. I'll just leave you with that. Great guy. Had a wonderful conversation. Because I'm such admirers of these people. I put a call out even to Ms. Candace. Good luck. Good luck. Static again? Okay, we're going to do it again. I'm going to start again. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. All right, how's that? How's that? Let me try it again. Is that better? We're going to do this thing. By God. Is that better? Good. 5 by 5. We're going to keep doing it. I don't care if I got to be here all night long. I'm not going anywhere, and you're not going anywhere either. Okay, good. The only way sometimes I get any response from you is if something goes wrong. I swear to God. How do you know I'm not doing this on purpose? Just to get you to respond. Just to get you to respond. Terrific. Okay. All of a sudden, Candace comes along. And she owns this. She owns this. Then there were the deep dives. The deep dives. The deep dives. Crap, I'm going back to Barron. Can't stand it! He said we'll be on tomorrow. We're going back. Okay. Take it easy. I'm doing the best I can. You notice how interesting people get so angry. They take it easy. I'm not doing this on purpose. I'm just a caveman living in your time. Anyway, you've got Candace. You've got Barron. You've got this monster. Have you seen this monster? This, oh my God. Project Constitution, tremendous. Tremendous. Have you seen this? Project Constitution, dear God. Unbelievable. Then you've got our friend, old Sam. Have you seen our friend? Sam Parker. Sam Parker. Sounds like something like Fess Parker. Somebody from like the Alamo, doesn't it? Sam Parker. You know I got that Sam Parker. Sam Parker. These are incredible. Feckety, I was trying to get a hold of her. I can't. Sometimes these people don't even have any. They don't even have. Oh, more static. Hang on a minute. I'm going to get it again. I'm going to get it again. Here we go. I'm going to do it again. We're going to do it again. So anyway, I'm going to keep doing this to all. Since I don't know what the story is, but we're going to keep doing it. Connect your mic. Somebody says, connect your mic. Can you believe this? Somebody wrote, connect your mic. Connect it. Wow. Let's see. Hang on a second. Try something different here. Okay. Now we got the deep dive. Is that better? I love this. I've never seen so much interaction ever from you. So much interaction. Unplug and plug it back in. Thank you. Thank you. Unplug the mic. There. My God. Is it better at all? There we go. Thank you. Why don't you unplug the mic? Turn off the computer. Maybe that'll work. Maybe it's wrong. Okay, my friends. Restart it. Maybe it's the government calling because you're talking about Charlie. That's, you know what? That's my Cash Patel. Hey guys, all right. So it's unbelievable, and I'm not going anywhere. Why are people such a-holes? W-H-O-L-E. The whole of the ass. Sounding fabulous. Thank you for a second. Thank you. That's terrific. Oh my God. So anyway, so the latest is Candace comes on and she busts. Can you believe today Secret Service exposes Erika Kirk's fake threats grift? Humiliated by empty seats, she takes off. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? Everybody sees through it. Candace today tore through it, and then, even as Barron says, somebody even said, thanks, I appreciate that, Erika. Oh, she's not, I mean, she's not there. She was there. She was there. Can you believe this? The vice president showed up, but this was no good for Miss Grift. This is the cojones. Can you believe this? This is the vice president. And he's through. He is done. Done. After Bibi Netanyahu said, well, I check in a report. The vice president reports to me. I would have picked up the phone and said, if you ever say that, we'll bomb. We'll start with you. Was it oops? Oops, little friendly fire. I've had enough of this shit. Can you believe this? Can you believe any of this stuff? It's over. And then, please, did you see the latest video I did today about, and Sam, did you see Sam? Sam Parker. Hey, yonder comes Sam Parker with a shooting iron. We're going to go down and we'll go to the Alamo. Sam Parker. They bring up this story about it wasn't a frangible bullet. They have yet to link the bullet to that rifle. It wasn't frangible, which is fine. And then we go through these, just check out these preposterous stories. And TMZ are saying, well, they've done it. They've done it. Is it acting up again? Hang on a minute. Am I sounding okay? All right. I'm going to wait. I disagree. JD Vance is a very competent debater. Debater? He's a master debater. He's going to be debating himself. He's just, do you understand how he was humiliated? Humiliated? Humiliated. First of all, this woman who lusts for him, you know this, right? Did you, by the way, did you see, I'm going to be so catty right now. This isn't my nature. Well, who am I kidding? If it's fun, it's catty. Did you see this group of girls that showed up for Bettina's, Don Jr.'s wife? 200 girls. Did you see this crew? Oh, dear God. Dear God. There wasn't a rocket scientist in the group. She was there for that. There she was, old pumpkin. There was Erika. Hey, I want to see who can do the passing a hockey puck stool grin better, her or Zoran Mamdani. I want you to imagine you've eaten 10 pounds of cheese and you're sitting in the loo and you're trying all you might and you're not hitting pay dirt and you're actually in pain. That's Zoran Mamdani. He looks like, this is killing me. He grins with a ferocity you haven't seen. Now, that's the same thing with, of course, when Erika does, she does that fake smile. She's got the smiles. She has two things. Three. Well, first of all, there's the crying, there's a looking up. When she's looking up, she's in La La Land. She sees something, she sees apparitions. She sees a different, maybe a parallel universe. I have no idea. She just, The other one, too, is she has the evil eyes, the crazy eyes. You ever see that? The crazy eyes. And then there's the I'm so happy, I'm smiling kind of grin thing. There was not anything even authentic about her. But there they were, all of these, such depth. And interesting enough, guess who didn't show up at the? This is so catty. Guess who didn't show up at the? Is that a shower? They called it. What was that? A bridal shower. What do you bring this woman? Ready for this? You know who didn't show up? Melania. Oh man! Talk about it. Wow. That says everything. And let me tell you something too. Melania is also showing you something where she says, I'm going to do what I want. I'm going to speak whenever I want. I'm not going to ask anybody for any kind of
11 scientists found dead, 34 years old.
11 scientists, by the way, we're not talking about that. Unbelievable. Do you understand what's going on here? She wants to be and I've seen this. We have this here. We have this. It's unbelievable. We have people in New York. And they are they live to be, they're like, some of them are 80 years old. And they're trying to be the cool girls. I'm serious. They all have that face. Mrs. L was at a place, hair, cutting, whatever you call it. What do you call it? Stylist? And this woman came in. It looked like she had her face pressed against a glass. Remember when after Greta Van Susteren had her work done? She had her face. Greta Van Susteren could smoke a cigarette around the corner. She had that Mary Jo Buttafuoco look, kind of like that, Anyway, she had her work done. It's like she'd been through a fire or a windshield. This woman, she lifted her ear up. And she had stitches. She looked like, you can't believe it. There are people here in New York, and every night they want to be at the right club. They want to be at the right place. They want to be, and they're always with these fake, like, these are my friends. There is not a friend in that group. Some of the most vicious people you've ever met in your life. These are predacious. These are A-list, tier 1 predators. I mean, alpha predators. These women, they will cut you to shreds. They will cut each other. They will eviscerate and consume each other and cannibalize each other to get whatever it is they're wanting. They were rare. And there they are with this bullshit about, look how much fun we're having. We're having so much fun. We're having, look at this, a bunch of gals, BFF, I love you. What is this? What is this? It's nuts. It's fake. And social media does this. But here's the best one. You know what we do to social media? You get these folks, oh my God, who use social media and they're just unbelievable. Dear God, they're incredible. Sam Parker, they're just, I don't even know where. Project Constitution, have you seen this stuff? Barron and others, they use this instrument not to sit around and talk about how great they are, how much fun they're having. Look at me, I'm so cool. This is the biggest story in the world, which I was trying to get to, I think perhaps circuitously, but nonetheless. What we're seeing here is just, it blows my mind. We're getting to the bottom of this. It's like they don't know what to do. This COVID doesn't remember what he's saying. Everything. Candace, Parker, everybody, Project Constitution, Barrett, everybody remembers exactly what you said. Wait a minute, you said it hit the bone and shattered. No, you said it was under the skin. No, you said, and they forget what they've said. Yes, please hit the like button. Please, for the love of God, I beg you. This is just incredible. It's the most. Now also, if this had been going on, somebody mentioned if the Nancy Guthrie case, most probably we would have found some type of we would have found some finality to that one, at least something. This is incredible. Somebody has got to go into TPUSA meetings. Like, can I have a board meeting? Can I have everybody there? COVID and you, can you come in here? Yeah. Can you? They say, yeah. Would you do me a favor? Would you shut them up, all you people? Every time you talk, within 5 minutes, they've got a rebuttal. Candace said, oh, no, you didn't. You didn't say that before. I say, do you remember what you're saying? Do you remember what you're saying? Do you know this? This thing's going to go to trial, and this is a dog. A couple of things. When Barron and I were talking about this, he's a lawyer. It was fun talking to lawyers. And we were both of the position that they never thought he was as both. He either chickened out, realized he was a patsy, or somebody forgot to tell him what the script was. See, you're supposed to finish the patsy before. You're supposed to finish the patsy off. You don't let the patsy get away with, you know what I mean? If you have this whole thing written out about goodbye, cruel world, top of the world, ma, top of the world. I'm going to tell you, nobody's going to make me spend the rest of my life. And they go, no, that's not what he said. He said, I'm going to turn myself in. And then Project Constitution, did you see this today? Please check him out. He has, apparently, there was no recording of anything made. Anything. And yet I'm looking at TMZ, that stupid Harvey Levin, and these morons. They say, well, they've connected. Bad news today. Daily Mail had this. Bad news for Tyler Robinson. They've connected. They didn't connect anything. What are they talking about? They didn't connect anything. You still can't match it. Well, it was a 30-aught. Maybe, but is it from that rifle? What are you talking about? If I have a rifle and there is a round, a jacket that I'm able to recover from the body, which version? Is it under the skin? Who came up with this thing about it hit the bone and shattered, or it hit the bone and then went down from C2 to C7 to T1 to the thoracic vertebra? Went down. Where did that come from? This is the magic bullet. Let me say this again. One of these numbnuts, I think it was Colvin, said, it was amazing. The bullet went inside, it hit the bone, and it blew up. And it's because of Charlie's diet. He's so healthy. It's just, the one bullet. And was a trotter, whoever, one of the doctors who's a hunter said, this thing didn't exit? Okay, well, whatever, fine. The other version said, "Oh no, it hit C2 and then went down, veered." None of this. This is like back and to the right. What are you talking about? Why do they keep talking? Who is it why do these retards feel like they've got to say something? Who in the name of God tells these people? Anyway, so that's over here. Then Candace shows that they used, was it Fox or somebody used the wrong footage? They spliced or did something. It was the wrong arena. It was, this, you can't believe it. You know, somebody said, and I think you're right, Candace probably could find Nancy Guthrie. I mean it. This is, but see, this wouldn't happen. Let me explain something. We love Candace. I would say, Candace, if this was a really good prosecution, you wouldn't have this. You wouldn't need this. I want to go after things like, John Benet Ramsey and every square inch of this story, everything from Laurie Franz to who is going to want to touch, to get near Erika. Seriously, you really think? I don't think Ivanka had any clues what the hell's going on. I think they live in such a bubble, they don't know what's going on. They don't know what's going on. Seriously, I really mean it. I don't think they know. Not because they're stupid, but I think they're just in a different world. Somebody's going to tell her, excuse me, Ivanka, yeah, I have a word with you. Yeah, are you crazy? Something is going to explode. This woman is not going to go quietly into that good night. She's going to lose her mind when she finally realizes the gig is over and you're not going to want to be anywhere near her. What are you doing? Are you aware of what happened? What happened? She bailed. She might have been there. Oh, and somebody said recently, and I don't, you can't believe everything, but somebody said that they're now going to high schools because colleges, nobody wants to talk to her. And that there's some event with Trump where they're begging people, please show up. And Trump's going to also say, Trump is so out of connection too. He doesn't understand. He's with this loser group. They're losers. And it looks like, I don't think Trump understands. He may still not get who these people are. Once it's over, it's done, it's finished. And they don't understand it. Somebody somewhere has got to be, either Susie Wiles or somebody says, Mr. President, you can't do this. I really mean this. There was a time, and now I don't know who's telling Trump or anybody else for that matter. I don't know who is advising him. I really don't. And JD Vance, you're coming across like a class A, and there you were saying, oh no, there were, he said this, JD, like a schmuck says, oh, there were threats. There were threats against her. Threats my ass. Your Secret Service, who is bound to protect you, said, there's no threats. What are you talking about? We would have heard about it. What threats? And she's there? We're not going to come out? What? How long do you think? Give me an idea. How long do you think? How long do you think? That's right, Liggy Lights. Hit that damn like button. Seriously. 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 hours, 6 days. She's gonna spend some time with her family. She's gonna claim either some type of threat. Brasileira, yeah, Pulp Fiction, Hexet. Ooh, I like your spelling of that. He is out of his mind. Carla, he's out of his tree. Hexet is just, Pete Hexet, oh my God. The only one who I think is worth, maybe, is Scott Bessent, who, by the way, had to come out for Erika and say, please don't talk bad about her. The Secretary of the Treasury? What are you talking? What is this connection? Do you not understand? Did you see Lauren Boebert today said, what are you all, sex addicts? Why is everybody so horny? Did you hear this one? as she's grabbing the schwanz of some guy in some movie. Remember that when she was like pawing? She was playing Yank and the Crank in the movie. Shake hands with Shorty. Remember that one? Polishing the Nazi helmet. This one's coming on and she says, what's the matter with you? And there's Eric Swalwell, who was just, this guy is a serial predator. He should be in prison. No, I'm serious. And then what's his name? Gonzalez? Dear God. I'm living in, I don't know. And where's Tulsi Gabbard? Who's in charge here? What am I asking you for? What am I asking you? This is the most important stuff in the world. This, though, our world, it's just, but in the meantime, there we are going through every single inch of this. And my question to you, Candace, Barron, has anybody from the defense team called you? Now, maybe you don't want to do this. Maybe not. Johnny Maz Espada says, whatever happened to the $2,000 to $7,000 tariff refund check that Trump promised we would receive in the spring? Yeah. Americans forget. Yeah. Whatever happened? Do we even have tariffs anymore? Do we even have that? I still want to figure out how you quarantine or shut down something that's shut down. Huh? Do you think anybody knows what's going on? Do you think anybody knows what, if you said, explain to me, Hamas, the Houthis, or Hezbollah? You think anybody really understands it? No. You think anybody knows what anything is? No. Nobody does. That's the most incredible thing in the world. When it comes to, there was a time when we had this thing called geography, and we kind of knew where stuff was. I was talking about the Bab el-Mandeb. That's my favorite. That's the Gate of Tears. This only opens up the Red Sea to the Suez Canal. Nothing big. Houthis take care of that. Have you ever met anybody who doesn't know who Candace Owens is? Seriously. Ask somebody a question. Do you know who Candace Owens is? If they say no, run. Every now and then somebody says, who? That's it. You see none of that on Fox News. Nothing. What do they talk about? What do they talk about? I don't watch it, but I don't understand it. How can we know? Look who it is. Al, your pa. So excited to watch you and Barron tomorrow. Ooh, yes. That's going to be incredible, yes. We're going to do you know what? That is incredible, yes. In fact, we're going to do I'll do a live. I was going to tape it. We'll do a live. I'll find out what he's going to do. Either way. It's going to be something that changes everything. That absolutely changes everything. Everything there is. Everything. But let me tell you something which is the most important thing in the world. And I mean to tell you this. I've never met anything like this. I've never met people like this. I've never met folks who have been a part of my world. These people who are so incredible, who actually are an honor. I mean, an honor to meet. An honor. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. I never knew this was possible. I never knew, and I never understood. Remember when Candace first started coming out with this stuff, and she would do this incredible stuff. She would, how do I say this? It was just wonderful. She would do these things where. I remember at first she says, "Well, here's this," and I thought, Who is Laurie Franza? And there's Laurie Franza, and there's Jerry Franza. I said, who are these people? And then Fort Huachuca, and then there's Mitch Snow, Egyptian Plains. What? What are we? Huh? Where are we going? Oh my God! And then she opened up an LLC called Flavoride Inc. And then she dissolved that, and she formed a limited partnership called Telluride Inc. And then she got married, and her father, her real father, this is her real father. And he left, and they came back. I said, how do you know this stuff? Where did you get this from? And I'll bet you anything. Lori, Franz, and Erika said, I didn't know that. Really, Mom, did you? Is that true? Well, yeah. You were married how many times? Where did this come from? Remember this? And some of it I'm thinking, I don't know if I can follow this. The Fort Huachuca thing was wild. And then they were trying to jump into that. And then that switched. And then, remember when she started to go into the fact that she said that Kamala Harris wasn't black? Oh my God. The first time I ever saw her, first time I think I ever saw Candace, I think she knocked on the door. Did she knock on the door? The woman from Black Lives Matter? And the woman was crying. And Candace goes, hello. She was knocking on the door. Remember me? Let me in. Immigration man. Remember? Let me in. And then Brigitte Macron, his name is Trump. No. And he was born in, and he's a boy. I said, where did you get this? There's no hemming and hawing. There's no approximation of the facts. There's no guesswork. Oh, well, maybe. It's documented. Here it is. Here's the story. Here's the timestamps. I got the receipts. I've never seen anything like this. And what did the other side say? What's their response? What's their retort? What's their riposte? Nuh-uh. It's unreal. Have you ever seen anybody investigate like this? Ever? Ever? If she did the Nancy Guthrie thing, remember that? They were going every night. Remember that remember the brother-in-law, Tommaso? Rumors they had Ashley Banfield. Remember this? She says, I have sources that say that the number one suspect is Tommaso, the brother-in-law. And the guy said, what? What do you mean, me? What? Remember that? That just went away. I'm thinking, Tommaso, I'm not trying to pull any champerty on you here, but I think they just made you a suspect of killing your mother-in-law. Is that? I don't know whatever happened with that one. Remember how weird? I'm not changing the subject, but Candace would have been great. Remember those weird family photos, those things where Savannah, and now she's happy and giddy? I don't understand that at all. That is so weird. That is so bananas. How about this? Hey, Savannah, why don't you offer some money? What do you say? Huh? They seem to want money. This is your mom. And now they're talking about, we'll give you the body back. And where's this body? Oh, horrible. It's just forgotten. Candace would have gotten to the end of that. She could be the next John Walsh. She could be the next. This is so weird. Everything she says is weird. Have you heard the latest today? They're talking about Obama again and Social Security numbers. Remember, if it's weird, it's true. If something is, there's a rumor, it's true. Savannah put up the money like at the end or something. Did she? Why are they still asking for Bitcoin money? Why are they still doing it? What money did she put up? They're still asking for money. Somebody is asking for money. Why didn't NBC say, listen, here's $1 million. You spend it however you want. There's $1 million. We're going to look like we're good. It's chump change for us. Nobody can figure this out. The FBI, Cash Patel, I guess it wasn't sexy enough for him. Where's Cash? And you know and I know that country music singer of his, if he loses that FBI gig, she is Elvis. She's out of there so fast. And where's Bongina? Anybody hear from him? Oh, another one too, get ready. Bobby Kennedy Jr. This guy is, whoa, man. Watch what happens to Bobby Kennedy. What a worthless waste of flesh this guy was. What did he ever do? I think we should have beef tallow. You think we should fry potatoes in beef tallow? Beef fat? This is your answer? This is natural? Okay. Then there was methylene blue. All I know is next thing you know, Alex Jones sold more than, what is this shit? I don't know. Just drop it in there. The blue tongue. What does it do? Mitochondria, something. Okay. What does it do? I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's just, who are these losers? Who are these people? By the way, is Tulsi Gabbard alive? Remember Carrie Lake? Carrie Lake is in the motor car. She was the head of Voice of America. How about Kristi Noem and her artificial boobed husband? What about this guy? Whatever happened to these people? Does he not check these people?
They're millions in debt, according to a new report.
Oh, millions in debt?
I have to vet it, but yeah.
You mean to tell me Trump, he doesn't know how to vet these people? He thinks somebody says, Mr. President, listen. Christie's Cosmenia wears fake tits. Yeah, made of armor, like an armor breastplate. Swear to God. Here's a picture. Everybody knows this. You don't join. You would think somebody would have called Palantir. You would have called Peter Thiel and said, can you check my people out? And you know Bongina, this guy's out of his tree. If you could take one look at Kash Patel, for the love of God, are you kidding me? Remember these other, remember Alina Habba? Remember this one? This was his ditz who was the U.S. attorney from New Jersey. This was his personal attorney. She was there for a week. Then there was the one in West Virginia. She was Miss something or other. I don't know. She tried to go after Comey, tried to go after Tish James, fail. We haven't heard anything from Judge Janine. Everybody says how great she is. I guess she's still there. I don't know. Being the head of the U.S. Attorney's Office for D.C., from being a Westchester County judge and DA, look, God bless him. Is there anybody, what is happening here? What is happening? Everywhere. It's wild. I'm telling you. Meanwhile, during all of this, what's the most important is that when it comes to, I guess, cable news, they're sitting around with their head up their ass doing nothing. They don't know where they are. Have you ever seen Mohammed Marandi? He's from Tehran University. He's a professor, teaches English literature, speaks perfect English. He's brilliant. They're laughing at us. Iran. Yeah, we're in no hurry. Okay, here's your 15 point thing. We don't want that. Okay. Well, let's look at your 10. All right, fine. Then we're going to have a ceasefire. Iran says, no, why? Every time you have a ceasefire, you regroup. No, we're not going to do the ceasefire. We're not going to do the ceasefire. Why do we want to do a ceasefire? Why do we believe you? Because every time we were on our way to working with you, and this is when we attacked them. this is, seriously. Tell me one thing. Let me tell you one thing. Tell me one thing that's right. Tell me one thing that's going right. Tell me one politician, anybody, anywhere who's doing something right. Please, I beg you. Is there anybody who knows what they're doing? Is there anything, anywhere? Does anybody know what the fuck they're doing? Anyone? I'm not trying to be, dare I say, contumacious. I'm not trying to be impertinent, but I'm going to ask you something. Does anybody know what they're doing? Is anything? Does anybody know? I don't know anyone. I don't know one person anywhere who is remotely competent. I don't understand anything. JD Vance is through, and they're going to push that creepy Marco Rubio. I got to tell you something. I don't know. And I mean to tell you this. I want to know. I don't know what to believe regarding Iran. Killing people, hanging people, executing people. I don't know what to believe. I'm not excluding it. I just don't know if I can believe anything. They lie to me about everything, from weapons of mass destruction to you name it. Thomas Massey's going place. I don't know. The people who are going to run the world right now are going to be, Candace, Tucker Carlson is enjoying a transformation, the likes of which you cannot believe. It doesn't. Ron DeSantis isn't that bad. Ron DeSantis has got to make sure he maintains independence. I am not going. The first thing, my first question. Oh, look at this. Iran effed around and found out. You don't believe that, do you? Seriously, you don't believe that, do you? Do you really mean that? Does anybody really believe this? Do you really honestly believe that we are somehow better off now because of what we did to Iran? Did you think that they ever posed an nexus? Listen, they did some nasty stuff. Turkey, Saudi Arabia, all right? You've got MBS took a skill saw to Khashoggi. You think these people are nice? Do you like them? Do you really like these people? Do you think this is it? Do you understand this? Tell me, I'm not saying what they have done that's good or bad. Do you think they're worth going to war with them? I agree. Judge Knapp is phenomenal. What kind of a moron? We go to war. And don't give me this bullshit about, well, they've said some bad things about us. We've said some bad things about them. What does that mean? Say whatever you want. I don't care. What do I care? We're the biggest dog on the block. Of course they don't like us. I understand that. Especially considering what we did to them in 1953. They've never forgotten that. But let me tell you something. The very first question. Anybody who wants to run for president is, what country besides the United States is going to determine the fate, the future, and the foreign policy of our country? Tell me. What country? Who will you listen to? Who will you take orders from? Who can push you around and make you do things you don't want to do? Who can buy you? Who? Tell me. Mohammed Marandi is an Iranian-American academic, intellectual, and political analyst, born May 4, 1966 in Richmond, Virginia. He is absolutely brilliant. And I'm telling you, listen to him. Brasileira Mia says, will we ever get out from under the claws of the ally? We sure as hell better, Carla. We sure as hell better. Thank you. This is ridiculous. Seriously, this is nuts. And whatever happened to America first? What are we talking about? And if it wasn't that, it was NATO before. And if it wasn't that, don't forget, Anthony Blinken under Biden, it was probably worse. Tony Blinken, worse. UN, NATO, Remember when they tried to drag us into Ukraine? What was that about? Then NATO was telling us what to do. That was ridiculous. That was NATO, and that was Victoria Nuland, and those creeps. Have you ever listened to these people like General Jack Keane from the Institute for the Study of War? You know who the Nulands are? The Nulands, the Kagans. This is the neocon family, and Victoria Nuland was the one who basically orchestrated the Maidan, the feigned, forced, contrived, orchestrated coups. This is so obvious. Oliver Stone nailed it. A lot of people nailed it because we had this idea where you were told that somehow Putin was the bad guy, and he was a bad guy. He doesn't threaten us. Putin didn't threaten us at all. Nothing. Putin was going to work out a deal with Zelensky until Boris Johnson came along and said, "Oh no, you don't. Oh no, you don't," and that was the end of that. And he said, "My only deal is this: you will not have a NATO country on my border. Period." And they said we want to make, and they still haven't done it. They did it just to stick a thumb to goad him. They said, "Well, we're gonna bring Ukraine into NATO." He said, "Oh no, you're not. Oh no, you're not." "Yes, we are." "Oh no, you're not." That was the deal. And they said, "You know what? You can't tell us what to do." He said, "I may not be able to tell you what to do, but I can tell Ukraine what to do." And that's exactly what they did. We would have never tolerated that, ever. you imagine if China puts some satellite country, whatever, on in Tijuana or outside of Brownsville? What, are you kidding me? We would have never tolerated. We have the Monroe Doctrine. Do you understand the hubristic sense of power that we love to exude? We're the United States of America. Can you tell us why we have, what is it, 800 bases in 80, 75 countries? What? What are we doing here? This is the most incredible thing in the world. Remember, think about this one. This great president of ours, because I want to make Trump again, he says, we're not going to have people in the Middle East tell us what to do, and he turns around and does it. Sounds exactly like Woodrow Wilson. Remember that? We're not going to get involved in this. We're not going to be the policeman of the world. And then what happened? World War I. What? Alien and Sedition Act. Remember Eugene V. Debs? We have a story. Our history is horrid. Horrid. And the thing about it is that you can't explain to people, when you're dealing with people who are so goddamn stupid, they don't know anything. They're narcotized. They're in this weird kind of an anxiolytic state, but they watch cable news and they have this simple, this ridiculous Manichaean good versus bad Keystone Cops view of the world. The world is complicated. It's very, very strange. And what they're so stupid about is you can't fuck around with oil and volatility, especially with the Strait of Hormuz and the Gate of Tears, the Bab el-Mandeb. You can't do this. That goes, remember, from the Red Sea up to the Suez Canal. You can't do this. All it takes, if I say, hello, yes, hi, this is Iran calling, yeah, Lloyd's of London, please, I'll hold. Yeah, Lloyd, yeah, listen. Don't be surprised if you find some mines on there. Yeah, right, Strait of Hormuz. Are you saying you did? I'm not saying we did. I'm not saying we didn't. Click, that's it. That's all it takes. Even the threat, and these mines they're not like those old, remember those round things with the spikes? They look like a COVID virus. You know, they had those virions, those things sticking out. It's not like that. These are underwater, they're drones, and if Lloyd's doesn't insure this, it doesn't happen. And by the way, helium supplies, helium, and fertilizer supplies, it's planting season. Do you understand what's going on? Do you understand what's going on? And what you're doing is you're shaking this up because you don't like people, because they're evil, because Iran could get a nuclear weapon, could, maybe, and they could send a missile to the United States. Are you kidding me? Do they know what happens? You know how many submarines we have parked out? Forget that. It takes from some ICBM from here to Tehran. They're right there. Are you kidding me? By the time that thing goes through its first stage, they're already an ashtray. Do you understand that? Can you believe they're doing it? And now they're talking about going after Cuba. That's Marco Rubio. Listen, let me tell you something here. I think I speak for all of us. I think I speak for all of us when I say that. When it comes to really fighting, and if somebody really hurt us, we do everything in our power. And this is the problem. If somebody really hurts us, this is the most important thing in the world. And the problem is, nobody's saying not to fight back. This is just something. Again, I'm trying to tell you something. Tolstoy said history would be a wonderful thing if only it were true. And Santayana said those who fail to remember history are bound to relive it, or whatever the hell it is. Napoleon said history is a myth that men agree to believe. And I think either Bismarck or Chamberlain said history is won by the winners. The bottom line is simply this. And this is the critical part. The bottom line, which is so I don't know what the word is, which is so critical, is that we live in a time where there's a lot going on right now. And what they have been waiting for the longest time, what they have wanted for the longest time, more than anything else, what they have wanted, and what was so critical for them, is for you to remain stupid and dumb and ignorant and nescient and without the ability to negotiate the facts. They want you that way. They want you to know nothing about world history, and they want you to believe in the most simple of fairy tale ideas. Good versus evil, apodictic, black and white, good guy, bad guy, left, right, terrorist, freedom fighter, and that kind of nonsense. I got to tell you something. It's one of those things where I am telling you, like anything else, I am telling you that I believe that we are at such a turning point here because the rules have changed. And you might not realize this right now, but everything has changed. And I'm going to go back to what's happening with Candace and others. There's a resurgence, by the way, of young people who are re-embracing Catholicism and Christianity and the like. They are very, very, how do I say this? They are very, very, for lack of a better word, they are very, very important in bringing to bear this idea that whatever the rules were before are over. Whatever your fathers, grandfathers, conservatism, republicanism, it's over. There's no more Republican Party. None of it. There's no more Republican Party. There's no Democrat. That doesn't mean anything. That's like saying North versus South, or East Coast. It doesn't mean anything. It's the illusion of the left-right paradigm. It's two sides of the same coin. It doesn't matter. It's done. We are in a spiritual, moral, cosmic war of good versus evil, crazy versus insane, and debauched versus not pious or not abstemious. We're not a bunch of prudes, but we have sexually depraved people filtering every aspect of our society, every stratum, everywhere. And we're becoming habituated to it. There's a terrible trial of this little girl who was taken to her death. And we're looking at these people, and we're looking at this. Oh, look, here's the video tape of the video of her last moments on earth. Okay. And because we're seeing this, and because it's real, people are becoming habituated to it. They are becoming, for reasons I can't explain, they are becoming tolerant and used to, and again, habituated to something which just doesn't, I've never seen anything like it. We've never lived and seen so much depravity, from pronouns to puberty blocking to creepy, mentally ill men competing in sports. We are being habituated, conditioned, made used to this lunacy. This is a war. I never thought I'd ever say this. I thought this was crazy talk. This was that crazy evangelical stuff, moral majority, and come on. Sinners, yeah. If there is not a devil proper, if there is not a devil per se, then there is an imposter who looks exactly like it. Exactly. If there's not a, if this is some kind of depraved witchcraft, there is, this knows no, what am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? This is weird. We're telling people, we have friends of the family, brand new baby, and we told them, under no circumstances are you ever to allow your child to attend a public school. Unless and until the rarest of occasions happens. Because your child is going to be sent for indoctrination. You're going to have some depraved fool, some subclinical paraphile lurking about with some teaching certificate who's ready to completely destroy your child's innocence and your child's sense of balance. And you're going, that child, from the time they get in, what was considered boy, girl, up, down, mommy, daddy, God, is going to be destroyed by these sick lunatics who live like vermin, these subterranean, I don't know what you call these. I don't know what you call these people. I don't know what you call these people. But I despise them. I despise them like you cannot believe. And we have to go after them. But the first thing we have to do is we have to remove them. We have to eventually say, no more. Public schools are over with. You're going to be seeing educational militias, groups of parents that say, okay, there's 10 of us. How many in our group? We're going to hire somebody who just has a master's, not even a PhD, a really good teacher with a master's. Will come work with our kids 3 days a week. You don't even need 5. 3 days. Not a lot of time. Teach them how to think. Teach them how to enjoy each other. Take them to a museum. Go to a field trip or something. But that's it. None of this. I don't want my child. I don't want them to be in these sublingual, these hominids, speaking a form of gibberish, a vile, incomprehensible gibberish, this mush-mouthed, just subliterate. It's not even a patois, or it's not an argot. It's ignorance. And I don't want to be around with people who live in worlds with different. No. I want my children to have as friends whose parents do not have criminal records. I want my children to have friends with intact families. I want my children to live in a world that might be Leave It to Beaver. What the hell's wrong with Leave It to Beaver? This is ridiculous. I don't want daddy has 2 mommies or 2 whatever. I'm tired of that. It's over with. It's done. It's finished. And we're going to retreat. We gave you all the time in the world. We're not going to do this anymore. And like my wife says, like Mrs. L says, no to digital. Let me tell you something. No. They're coming after your child through that machine. And there's ways around it where you can find out through routers and protect young eyes. So many. Go to linswarriors.org and also follow her on YouTube at Lynn's Warriors. Listen to what she's saying. She's going to be going to Washington. She's going to be dealing with so many people, so many of these parents who lost their kids because of these stupid, these intellectually and socially and emotional contaminants. Our good friend Von Nankin says they're so depraved they don't even bother to hide their abominable behavior anymore. You're right about that, and thank you for that. You're right. They do it with complete impunity. They have no concern over this. They are so used to it. They are so used to it. Now, let me also explain something. I have a friend of mine, I've known him forever. He's gay. And he says, I don't know what this he's a man. He says, I'm a man. He has no interest in children or anything like that. He does not understand where these people came and basically hijacked his world, his movement, his life. He doesn't understand where they're from. And he doesn't understand where a lot of his friends say, we don't know this LGBT. What's this T bullshit? We don't know about the T. Where is this from? And the people that I know who fought, they were part of the Stonewall environment, the Stonewall Revolution, where there was a time in this country where gays were treated, horribly, horribly. Treated like second, and there's no reason for that too. But this is ridiculous. They've actually contaminated, and see, they work as viruses. They come into a group. It's like the Democratic Party. It's like organized crime went into labor, went into the Teamsters, went in, took over, and now own the pension fund. See how this thing works? It's this world. It's this thing. They go in. The Democratic Party used to be rational. Vietnam, 60s. Anti-war, pro-civil rights, pro-women, pro-gay, pro-black, whatever it is. Fine. Labor. Pete Seeger. Remember the Weavers? Remember during the McCarthy years, during the Red Scare, they were considered leftists. You know why? Because they believed in unions. Things are just, simple unions, 40-hour work week. They had come back from the communist movement in this country. Came right after World War I. Remember they had the bonus riots. They came back and they were offered nothing. They came back after the worst war ever, and they had nothing. They were living in camps. They couldn't believe how they were abandoned. Douglas MacArthur was going to open fire on them. They had these Hoover camps or whatever what they were called in Washington, and MacArthur said he was going to open fire on soldiers. This is what the left was. This is what they were about. Being left it wasn't even left. It was left, and there really was no right. There was this, and there were these other people there. These people who were very, very suspect of FDR and the like. Then there was the Smedley Butlers who was actually enlisted. You know the story. War is a racket. Enlisted to involve themselves in a coup. And there's always been that underlying world. And right after World War I, right around after the League of Nations, right before the UN, right before Bretton Woods, right before all this stuff, the same year that you had the Fed, remember this, was it 17? Jekyll Island, you had the Fed and, it was the 13, I believe, and income tax. Same year. It changed. Everything changed. Everything. Remember this. There was such a shift. Everything changed. And by the way, somebody writes, MAGA has destroyed America. There is no MAGA. 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 That's the name that the right or that the whatever call this hatred for Trump. They took what you believe in, which might have been originally propounded or promoted by him, and they called it MAGA. There is no MAGA. It doesn't exist. That's a word they use. It's like conspiracy theory or something. It doesn't make any sense. There is no MAGA. These are words that don't make any sense. We can tell when somebody doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. And they use it. Is this the end of MAGA? No. What Trump has done is he's forgotten what brought him to the dance. And I don't know what that's about. I don't begin to explain. I don't understand. I don't know. But I'm not going to belabor the point. What I'm saying is this. They had their chance. It's a new world right now. And believe it or not, I know it sounds crazy, but sometimes revolutions come out of the strangest of events. For example, remember Arab Spring? Arab Spring came. One of the tipping points was this. Was it a fruit? I think it was a fruit or vegetable monger. I love that. I'm a fish monger. And it was in Tunisia. And he was fined, or his scales were taken, or whatever it was. And he said, I had enough. I had enough of this. And he set himself afire. Remember this? Self-immolation. Like the monk, like the whatever. And that started everything. I forget his name. But the point is, that started Arab Spring and all these other movements. And there was this movement through, there was like this revolt. Remember the Pan-Arab movement with Nasser and Habib Bourguiba and Tunisia. There's all these other people. There's these movements that are always happening. And you got to pay attention to them. So sometimes it's an event. It's something. Stonewall, the gay rights movement started down Christopher Street, down here in New York, 69 or whatever. This was when it all started. An event, one event. It was this one raid. And they said, that's enough. That's it. That was it. That's the end of it. They're going to look back, and they're going to be people in colleges and people who were teachers, and they're going to say, you're not going to believe this. But what changed was a woman named Erika Kirk. And she was this ersatz, synthetic, fugazi woman whose husband was dispatched in mysterious circumstances. She was so phony, so artificial, so synthetic, that she inspired people to come out of the woodwork. And when they came out of the woodwork, they came in droves. They came en masse. And there was a woman named Candace Owens who led the pack. It started off kind of as an interesting, it was sort of a, it's kind of fun. But then people said, wait a minute. This is bigger than just Erika Kirk. This is something else. This is about these phony baloney, these synthetic evangelical folks who have been enjoying themselves for too long, who are living high on the grift. And then it just exposed everything. And then all of a sudden people came forward. And then here comes Tucker. Here comes Joe Kent. And then it was this, and Massey. And all of a sudden people said, wait a minute. There was this new movement. It started initially from this thing. And while we're there, Candace says, oh, and by the way, I'm a devout Catholic. Wait a minute, spiritual, yes. And I believe in this, yes. And we believe, however you say, Americans are saying we must be in control of our own foreign policy. That's it. This is not subject to debate. This is not subject to debate. That's it. She brought it up, Tucker brought it up, and a host of others. Then people who we would not normally think we would be friends with, but there was a Judge Napolitano crowd, again, all via the internet, all via platforms, all via YouTube, very important. Max Blumenthal, Aaron Mate, Katie Halper, Abby Martin, Douglas McGregor, Colonel McGregor, John Mearsheimer, Larry Johnson, Scott Ritter, over here. Then, people that used to drive us crazy, Anna Kasparian, Junk Yogurt, I used to call them, the young turds, all right? They're over here. And then this one's over here. And then we said, wait a minute. Ben Shapiro, boo. This one, boo. Then there were all the phonies. Remember Dinesh D'Souza? Remember Tim Pool? You found out, oh, wait a minute. Oh. Then all of a sudden people remember Glenn Beck and those folks. It's like, wait a minute, wait. Who are you? Who are you again? You were what? They just, it's like they're all found out. And you go down the list. The PragerUs, Salem, all the Salem folks. Oh. Very clever. So you, remember all of those folks? All of the influencers? Remember the influencers who were bought off? Remember that? Who were given those binders? All of them. Did they ever say anything about Epstein? Bought, sold, neutralized, and neutered. Castrated, geldings, orchiectomy, ballless, gutless, spineless, invertebrates. Wow. They were there the whole time. We didn't know. We know now. And then all of a sudden, out of this rubble comes this group. It's like this volcano. And the lava, the magma, it comes up. Candace, Tucker, you, me, Barron, Candace. Go down the list. And once we're here, and by the way, if you think that everybody's going away, that once this Charlie thing's over, that we're going away, oh no. Oh no. No. They better hope this Charlie thing goes on, because that's just keeping us busy. Seaside says, thank you for intelligent dialogue and interacting with us. Thank you, Seaside. I appreciate that. Let me tell you something. We are not going away. I don't know what you called. I don't know what you called. I don't know what you want to say. And by the way, remember, there are people who are going to be trying their best. And remember who these people are and pay very, very close attention. Okay? Remember. Listen to this. Here we go. Somebody writes, Candace made $18 million from Charlie's death. You think that's true? You think that's true? Remember, we need that. We need it. We need this. I need somebody to give us sometimes maybe the wrong direction to solidify our points. All points are welcome. Sometimes it takes me somebody to think this. You understand this? This is the point. By the way, Ayn Rand would not be, put it this way, Ayn Rand would not be necessarily have anything to do with the objectives, the philosophy, or the thinking of Candace and others. This is one who believes in this objectivism nonsense. It's kind of like this selfish, every man for himself stuff. No. Let me tell you something. Look at a kid and watch a child show empathy for somebody else. You can see a little baby boy, baby girl, and she'll see another kid crying, and she'll say, what's the matter with them? And they'll show concern. They don't know anything. You never taught them that. They do it instinctively. They don't understand this. What's going on? It's what they're born. We're hardwired. And children are born beautifully. They're very empathic. And they laugh and they're funny and they show love. And then we destroy them. We take them to school. We pull them away from mommy and daddy. We pull them away. And we do everything we can to just destroy them. We put them in a room and we say, oh, this is like a socialization. And we treat them, you're not important. Socialization is great, but they're too young for this stuff. We always do everything too early. Schools are becoming nothing but a lot of this stuff is just child care. Parents have to work and that's it. And we tell them, indoctrinate, sit down, shut up and do this. Here's your pen, start writing. You will learn like this. You're in the first grade. Sometimes it's the only way people know this. But we start destroying them, little by little, bit by bit. And then somebody like Ayn Rand comes along and professes this idea, this objectivism, where there's no, that altruism is no. I still believe that there should be a child in this where we say we want to help people because it feels good. Philanthropy and beneficence and charity, those feel good. It feels good to help people. Not because of God, not because of a hereafter. It feels good. It's our natural instinct to want to do good, to bring a smile to somebody's face, to not do harm, to have somebody say, thank you, I like you, I appreciate you, to have friends. We got to remember what this is. We are social beings. We're not this. It's good to be loved, to love other people. You will feel better. You will live your life better. You will be a happier person. You will be happier. You won't be as depressed. You won't be as self-centered. You won't worry about every little bit of anxiety, all this stuff, all this solipsism, this ridiculous, this introspection, I hate what I'm seeing. That's why I can't stand most people. They're selfish, and all they want to do is they want to live inside their phone. And what's important to understand is that, believe it or not, the good thing about religion and faith, irrespective of what it is, for the most part, and I'm not an expert on all of them, I just know what I've seen, at least the theory behind it, whether you believe in all of the theological intergirdings, if you will, you must understand something which is very, very critical, and that is this. You have to realize you are nothing. It is hubristic for you to think you are the middle of the world. You are not. You are a granular, atomistic little bit. Don't take yourself seriously. You are just a piece of the puzzle, a little tile in the mosaic of life, and that's it. You're important. Love yourself. Respect yourself, but don't ever think you're the most important person. You are nothing. Remember, graveyards are filled with indispensable men. And once you understand this, once you understand humility, then you'll be able to move on. You'll be a better person. You don't take yourself so seriously. I'm telling you, there's a lot of people who are supposedly depressed and all this other. They have like a personality autoimmune disease. They are so focused on themselves. They're so they redefine and they reabsorb and they reestablish, I should say, this egomaniacal. Again, it's like solipsism. All they know is themselves. I'm the center of the universe, and that's it. We got to stop that. And when you do that, you realize politics is not for you. And then you realize there's not one person in Washington who is looking out for you or anybody else for that matter. It is a joke. It is a facade. It is a Potemkin village. It is nothing but a backlot. It is a myth. It is this myth. And they're not even close to running the show. The people who run the show have names you've never heard of, organizations you've never known, in places you've never going to visit. They run the show. They're the shadow government, and that's it. You can call it deep state, no, shadow government. And they have absolutely no care at all. And remember, it's not the people whose names you know. If you know their names, they're not in charge. The people who run the show are people behind them. And they're bigger than anything. And what they want to do is they're sick and they're perverse and they love chaos and disorder. And what they also want to do is they want to make sure that everything which is normal and rational and good, they want to destroy. They love instability. They love to destroy everything. Everything. They love chaos. They love, you understand why antioxidants, you know how they work? Electrons are paired. When they're paired, they're stable. When one electron is cleaved, is lost, you have this one loose one that's out there. It's a free radical, and it looks for something to connect with, to mate with. And that's where you get tumors and inflammation. That's what inflammation is, basically. It's this idea of this runaway instability. Antioxidants, calm that down. We need a kind of an emotional, spiritual antioxidant. I know this sounds crazy. It's true. And I'm going to say it again. It started with Erika Kirk. Because it brought us all in. It brought us into the tent. And now that we're in, we're saying, hey, I like this. Because I want to vote with you. I want you on my team, and I want to be on your team. I don't know what you call us. I don't know what this is. Left, right, conservative. I don't know. But I want to be on your team because I like you. And I like the way you think. And you really... I knew you were out there. I knew if I looked... I knew something would happen. Something would happen. And who knows? It was this. And we all have this thing about truth. You always say that, truth. You write the greatest things, the greatest comments. I never looked at a comment ever on YouTube. Never. Never. They were awful. Oh my gosh. What the hell is the point of this? I even turned off comments one time. That's not it. Because you want to have interaction. But you always write truth. Speak the truth. You want honesty. You want truth. That's all you want. I'll buy that. You game? I'm game. That's the way it is. All right, my friends. An hour and 23 minutes. What a delight. You let me act. You let me say you're like a laxative. You're like an emotional laxative. You let me just purge myself of this built up, this crud, this bezoar. You know what a bezoar is? It's a hairball. This also was thought of, but like an anti-venom or something. Anyway, but it's like a mass. That's what it is. And you want to get rid of this bezoar. It's a great word, a bezoar. And that's what it is. And I rid it. You're like a laxative. You're a purgative. You're high colonic. You're like a fecal disimpaction. You understand what I'm saying? You know what you are? You are a fecal, listen to this. You're a fecal transplant. A fecal transplant. Did you ever hear about this one? This is the greatest thing in the world. Chinese used to use it. Centuries ago, they called it yellow soup. Ooh. Think about this. If you ever had an elderly parent who has a C. diff or something, or people, you can die from this. You get the wrong biota, some lower GI. Oh my God. Gut health, as they call it. But the biome, the biota's off, and you're just, oh my God, the diarrhea, you can die. And there are people who go through absolute horror. So somebody said, why don't we take somebody who has a stable biome, biota, as it's called. Let's take that. Let's take a sample of their fecal material, process it, and deliver it via enema or via colonoscopy up high into the intestine and see what happens. Sure enough, like pluripotent cells, like stem cells, it's just changed. And all of a sudden, E. coli, everything became stable, C. diff was gone, and lives were changed. And it's been affected. It's also been connected to psychological or psychiatric, some types of depression. It's, and it's called fecal transplant. And that's what you are. You're my fecal transplant. Because I was going crazy. I had intellectual C. diff. I had spiritual C. diff. I was, hated everything. And then I met you. You were beautiful. You had the beautiful gut health. You had intellectual, spiritual gut health. You were a nice biota. And I took you. And I gave a sample of you. And I pulverized you. And I gave you a kind of a spiritual enema. And now, this pluripotent explosion. I'm back to normal. Thanks to you. You're my fecal limpaction. Thank you. Thank you. You've never heard that before, have you? One of the greatest things ever. Yellow soup. Remember that. That's us. Forget the yellow snow. Beware of the yellow soup. Okay? All right, my friends. Listen, I love yous. Thank you so much for the kindness. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for this. Thank you for letting me wax crazily, for letting me expatiate, to extol my thoughts, my transcendental, transcosmic ideations. Thank you for that. It's a purgative. I appreciate that. So, my friends, please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. Please, if you haven't already, hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. Please follow my wife's channel at Lynn's Warriors. Please. She's on Zoom calls preparing for White House. She's in, I'm going to tell you whose office she is. She gets turned down, and then somebody all of a sudden breaks through. She is indefatigable. She goes to Washington. She marches in. You should see her in action. I'm telling you. Fighting for parents. For parents you'll never know the names of, you'll never meet, but she has to know them. She deals with them constantly. So thank you. And by the way, my friends, those of you interested, I'm going to be on WABC's weekends 2 to 5. Okay? And they schedule that. I'm elated. So if you want to hear something different, to a group of people who won't understand a word I'm saying, I'm warning you, they don't understand a word I'm saying. But you do. You know why? Because you're my yellow soup. All right, my friends, have a great and a glorious day. I love yous. Tomorrow I'm going to be talking to, I'm going to see if I can do this live. I'm not sure if I should do it live or record it, but I've been talking to the great Baron Coleman. We had a great time. What a super guy. Super. Lawyer to lawyer. Phenomenal. So we'll see what happens. You saw the Jimmy Dore thing. I had a ball with him. And I'm such, how do I say this? I'm such fans. I'm such a fan of them. In any event, stay tuned. And by the way, on X, don't forget to follow me at Lionel Media. That's where it really is. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious night. I love you to death. I mean that sincerely. I love you. I honestly love you because you are so beautiful to me. Can't you see? You are so beautiful to me. You know, that'd be a great song. Until next time, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Ta-ta.